far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood. We are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium.
Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Omaha.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Murray. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They'll start with the option.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon.
10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action with Jackson.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 22,
Jackson. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Jahan Dotson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trayvon Walker racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Trayvon Walker drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. On now the former Vol, Michael Pilardi. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This time Jackson will throw it. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play action. It's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now, there's a reason they call him a ball-hawking safety. It looked like he read that, Charles, and he wasn't stopping there. After he got it, he took it all the way to the house to widen their lead.
And what's interesting to me, Brandon, is that our spotter, Bruce Murray, right before that snap, pointed to his number on my play sheet. Got to see him a little bit as a ball hawk and a return man that time, didn't we? That's just the type of play they expect from him, and he delivers in a big way. Nice call, Bruce.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Once again, it's Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They go with Jacobs. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated every code on that one, didn't he? Deciding to go for it right there.
Oh, yeah, your side of the field, this stage of the game, you're supposed to punt the football. He said, who cares? I'm going to light the book on fire.
Yeah, analytics, everyone else, be warned, he's coming for you. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Now on 2nd and 13. Murray. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
I definitely got the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Touchdown, Steelers. Kyler Murray, 47 yards. And the Steelers get a bit closer. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't cold between zone and man. sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees, because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Jacobs, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 3 yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. They'll run it with Jacobs. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Jackson. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
All the practice, all the training, all the meetings. In this situation, I know exactly what quarterbacks are taught. Take care of the football. That's job one paramount. Because you cough it up here, you might be giving up 6 points real easy.
Tip of the cap to the defense, though, forcing the fumble. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Up the middle, Nawangu. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Jackson's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Nawangu going to get it on the counter. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Nawangu. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football open to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. In motion right here, Boyd. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Murray with a 3rd and long. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
A run with Jones on 1st down, not going to yield much. A yard tops. 2nd down coming up.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway on a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it? Running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Murray complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Jet sweep. Here's London. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.